Alright, hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 11:30 a.m., April 2nd, 2019, and we're looking at the satellite from yesterday. Yesterday was a very nice, clear, and brisk day across the area, and sorry I couldn't do a weather update last night, but that's because I was in the Pine Barrens celebrating my birthday a day later with uh, my best friends, which are pine trees. Anyway, let's take a look and see, first of all, before we talk about the storm, what it got down to last night, because last night was pretty chilly, and I want to look at some of the normally cold spots. Right now, 45, winds of southeast, they're already picking up, but last night it got down to 15 degrees in West Hampton. Very cold, and that's because we had some pretty dry air in place yesterday. Dew points were only in the low teens. So last night, or should I say this morning, it got down to 15 degrees at West Hampton. It's in the dwarf pines. It gets cold there in the Pine Barrens. We look at an area that's outside of the Pine Barrens, say Farmingdale, wasn't as cold. It got down to 27. That's still pretty chilly. So yeah, it's pretty chilly. That's for sure. So let's go and look and see how cold it got in Toms River, because believe it or not, Toms River also gets cold at night. Maybe hot during the day, but it gets cold at night. So what did it get down to there? Not as cold as West Hampton, but they did get down to 18 degrees. And it was nice. Yesterday was a really nice day. So hopefully you were able to get outside and enjoy it. We've got to watch this storm now, so that's the next thing we've got to talk about. You see there's a bunch of storm warnings and gale warnings for offshore. And looking at the current satellite, you can see here it is. We're already experiencing the cirrus from it. See how big this storm looks on the satellite image. And let's see if we can actually move this down a little bit. Let's see if they have one for the southeast here. Southeast. Let's look at the southeast. Let's see. Here it is. So here's the storm. Look at that thing. There it is forming. So you can see there it is forming. See the circulation. It almost looks like it's got an eye to it. It's very unusual. And it's almost got some tropical characteristics, which again is unusual. So let's look at the NAM and let's see what it does. I don't have the 12Z GFS in, but we can look at the NAM and see how this thing tracks. So you can see, look at this intense area of low pressure and bands of thunderstorms around the center. It almost, like I said, it almost looks tropical. But the good news is that it stays more or less offshore. It might brush the Twin Forks a little bit, but the worst of it stays offshore. But look at this very deep low, 978 millibars, a very deep low as it moves on out. This thing is got some tropical characteristics for sure, which is very unusual for April. We should all be alarmed about that. But the good news, at least for our area, is that its impact should be minimal. Looks like it might have more of an impact maybe on the Cape, but its impact should be mostly out at sea. So again, this is what it looks like here on the NAM model. So let's see how much rain it's going to give us. And we're just basically going to talk about the storm because that's what we have to track right now. That's not what I wanted to do. So let's see how much rain it's going to give us. So yeah, the East End actually could get, like I said, the Twin Forks might get an inch or more of rain. But for the rest of us, Middle Suffolk, maybe a half an inch. And then into Nassau, there's going to be a sharp cutoff. Nassau, probably less than a quarter of an inch. Same for most of New Jersey and the city, of course. So that's what it looks like from there. Let's now take a look and see what it looks like on the simulated cloud fraction model. Yeah, it almost looks like it's got an eye to it. Look at that. That is crazy. So that moves out, and then Wednesday we should have a nice day. Should have a nice sunny day, another nice sunny day on Wednesday, and then the clouds rolling again. So let's take a look and see what the winds are. We're going to actually look at the wind speed on the storm and see what the wind speed is in it and how it's going to impact us. So fortunately not. Look at some of these wind speeds. 56. Something this thing's like a tropical storm. Maybe the first tropical storm of the season in April. Look at this. You can see it's got the characteristics of a tropical system. Look at this, and this isn't even wind gusts. These are sustained winds. This thing is almost like a hurricane. Fortunately, yeah, like I said, we don't get affected too much by it. Looks like maybe the east end might see a little bit of it, but not too badly. Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. You know, that's just crazy right there. And let's look at the temperatures. So we will look at the temperatures now. So today we got the sea breeze. Gonna probably only be in the maybe around 50, 55, 50 degrees or so. Nam does the temperature a little bit. You can see just the reflection of it showing up there. Tomorrow it does warm up to around 60 though. We're gonna have a west wind, so it won't be a sea breeze. And then it drops on Thursday a little bit. But wow, that's something right there. That's something. Let's go to Ventus Sky. I'm gonna look at this thing on Ventus Sky as well. So, very unusual system. So again, you see the southeast flow. Let's pull this out a little bit. Take a look at our storm. There it is. Look at it. Look at some of the warm air that's involved. 70s. Let's take a look at the dew points too. Let's look at the dew points. Really high humidity. Oh yeah, dew points almost near 70 in parts of the storm already, and we're only in April. That's crazy. Alright, so we're going to look at the wind speed, and then we're going to actually put this into the future here. Show you what it looks like later on, and look at that. 81 miles an hour. You're talking about hurricane force here. That's crazy. Look at that. Wow. And I didn't even put wind gusts in. Let's do wind gusts. Wind gusts, 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is a hurricane, folks. Look at the structure of it. It's got an eye wall and everything. Wow. You may ask, why are we getting hurricanes in April? Well, look at the sea surface temperature and I'll show you why. And no, it's not an engineered storm. I'm having comments. People think the weather's getting engineered. No, that's not what's happening. Well, it is getting engineered by global warming and climate change. Yeah. You know, well, any excuse to keep driving those pickups and big SUVs, right? People are delusional. Anyway, yeah, look at some of these water temperatures. This is why you have it. Look at this. These are 6.3 5 Celsius anomalies. All right, so we're talking anomalies of 10 degrees Fahrenheit. We're actually going to look at the actual water temperature, in this area where the storm is forming. 25.8 Celsius. How much is 25.8 Celsius anyway? Let's take a look and see right now. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So water temperature is almost near 80 degrees. That's enough to sustain a hurricane. That's enough to sustain a hurricane. So we all need to be very concerned about what's going on, especially if you live near the coast, especially if you live on the South Shore. Fortunately, this thing isn't impacting us. But hey, you know, one day our time will be up, and we will suffer with this. I do want to look at a couple of other models, though, such as the HRRR, and see how that does, and then I'm going to wrap up this weather update. I'll have another one for you later on the night for sure. Unfortunately, stays offshore. Wow, a hurricane in April. Insane. Anyway, I'll have another update for you later. I'm just surprised at this. This is shocking and kind of scary. We should all be alarmed about this. But no, it's not geoengineering. It's global warming. Wake up, people. That's it for this weather update.